Good morning, YouTube. This is Supper, and today I'm coming to you with yes, I've got a new rulebook for Warhammer 40k 7th edition, and I'm going to give you a not so quick review today. So, before I start, I want to say huge thanks to Mr. Robert from Centrum Gear Phoenix from Torun, thanks to whom I received my package on Saturday. We have got some troubles, but we overcome it, and I'm very happy for contacts. So if you're looking for some place to go in Torun or some internet purchase in Poland, check him out. This video is not going to be a review per se. It is for the people that used to play 6th edition and would like to enter this edition without jumping through all the rulebook. Last few days I spent playing the game called Find the Difference between two rulebooks and found 150 differences. Some are huge that you already heard about, some are small that you just might missed. So fancy yourself a comfortable chair because it will take a while, and let me show you the differences. This edition, initiative cannot go below 1. We have got clarification for how to use D66. If two rules combine so that you have to reroll all successful and all failed rolls, just do not reroll them at all. In these rule books you are not going to find blast markers in the appendix, so you have to buy your own copies. You cannot just copy the actual pages. In this book you will find the rules for Lords of War, so you can find as well some information about blast markers and templates used in the Apocalypse battles. There is a clarification for completely destroyed units and removed as casualties. In last edition we had got only controlling player and the opposing player. Now we've got owning, controlling, and opposing player with 3 different definitions. Another clarification you can find in this book are the definitions for friendly and enemy units. Turn summary has grown from 3 points to 6. Besides a new psychic phase, we've got beginning of the turn and the end of the turn. We've got 6-inch vertical unit coherency. We've got, of course, new psychic phase. I'm not going to give you all the new rules for using psychic powers because all of it has changed. But you've got the rulebook already, so take a look at it. Range for Psychic Hood has just increased to 12 inches. There are no Maelstrom type of powers. Nova powers now can hit flying monsters, creatures and flyers. Psychers can use any amount of Witchfire powers per turn, and each can target a different unit. After using a Witchfire power, Psyker can normally shoot his weapon in his own turn. Shooting sequence has changed this edition. Now you have to shoot, wound, allocate wounds and save with every different weapon. So you cannot increase the range of your template by the range of other weapons in this squad. There is no focus fire. Units that has gone to ground cannot fire Overwatch. We've got new weapon types, bomb and the primary weapon. Of course, primary weapon is for the Lords of War. There is no single roll for D3, D6 multiply shots from weapons. Now you have to roll for every single one. Template weapon is no longer a weapon type, it is now a special rule. Charging through difficult terrain now gives you only -2 inches to the range. If, while doing pile-in moves in combat, you suffer wounds from dangerous terrain, they do count to combat resolution. Now let's go to the units. Eldar jet bikes can no longer do an assault move after turbo boosting. They can do either turbo boost or assault move. Bikes and jet bikes now receive the very bulky rule. Artillery units have no more restrictions for moving and shooting, so if you got some artillery that is not a heavy weapon, you can shoot it normally. If it is heavy weapon, you can snap fire. Unfortunately, if you got a blast heavy weapon, you still cannot use it because of the rules for snap fire and blasts. Beasts lost move through cover, but they can still do exactly the same, but they just lost the special rule. So if there will be some unit that will be able to remove move through cover, the beasts are safe. Monstrous creatures can never go to ground. If flying monstrous creatures arrive through deep strike, they appear in a swooping mode. Monstrous creatures now have just Jink special rule. Swooping FMCs can never fall back. Gliding FMCs that are falling back cannot change the flight mode. Flying monstrous creatures cannot charge in the same turn they change the flight mode. Grounding tests are now made only if the model has been wounded, of course with no saves, and only once per phase at the end of it. If flying monstrous creature has been grounded by enemy fire, it can declare charge in his next turn. Vehicles that fails dangerous turn test loses hull point and are immobile. Vehicle damage table has changed, now explosion is on 7+. Chariots treat immobilized result as crew stunned. If a zooming flyer is immobilized, it have to roll again. On a 2-, it crashes. And on a 3+, it just receives a crew stun. If vehicle explodes, now everyone around gets strength 4. There are no craters after exploding vehicles. Wrecks are not dangerous terrain anymore. Units can charge vehicle even if they cannot harm it. Wounds are made by explosion of transport for the transported units are randomly allocated. If a transport received crew stunned, crew shaken, immobilized or weapon destroyed results, the transported units have to make a leadership test. If they don't pass it, they can only snap fire. Now to vehicle types. Big changes in chariots. Now they cannot be destroyed separately to the character that is riding them. And if the character has got ability to come back, just like Necrolords, they come back with the chariot, with one hook. Characters cannot disembark chariots. Even if chariot moves, characters still can shoot their weapons. Chariots now have all new wound allocation rules. When they receive enemy fire, the owning player of the chariot choose which hits, which wound pools are allocated against chariot and which against the character. In close combat, wounds are allocated against chariot's front armor. Chariot's rider is relentless and he can fire Overwatch, but only with his weapons, not the chariot's ones. Chariots lost sweep attack. And the last news from chariots, now they can be locked in combat. Bad news for Necron players, now heavy skimmers lost their Jink save. If skimmer move flat out and is immobilized, it no longer wrecks. Walkers received Hammer of Wrath special rule. Speed now have nothing to do with strength of ramming attacks. When you count the strength of the stack, only look at the type of vehicle and its armor value. Dozer blades upgrade by 1 point armor value, front armor value of vehicle for the purposes of ramming attacks. Characters lost precision shots. Excess wounds struck by characters in challenge are now relocated to the combat. As long as there are no other units in combat, outside forces can attack challengers. Moral support rule is gone. Ruins give 4+ cover save even if the model is not obscured in the 25%. Craters now give 6+ cover save, but if you go to ground in it, you will receive +2 bonus instead of +1. Rubble works just as ruins, 4+ cover save even if you are not obscured in 25%. No more area of terrain rules. If unit disembark from the building, it still can charge the same turn. There's a new special rule for buildings called Mighty Bulwark. It gives you -1 on building damage table against the building that have got this special rule. There are some changes in the building damage table. On the rolls of 3, 4 and 5, unplaced weapons can only snapshot, and on the roll of 7 plus, building is removed, there appears a crater, and no models around it are hit by flying debris. Wounds directed to the models in the buildings are now allocated randomly. There is a new rule called Defense Sentry System, which makes vehicles able to shoot even if they are unoccupied at the moment. There are no special rules for using grenades against buildings. You can still use it to destroy the building, but now you cannot attack units that are embarked in the building using grenades. There is no leaping down. There are no rules for assaulting battlements. One of the biggest changes in this edition are of course Unbound and Battleforged armies. I will not tell you everything about the rules for it because it will take a whole video. I might do it some other time, but for now just have to know that everything changed, so go and check out the rule. There are no limit of combinations of detachments for Battleforged armies, so you can have any number of any kind of detachments. Unique models can still be deployed only once, even in Unbound armies. You can now have few Combined Arms detachments in one army. Combined Arms detachment is just like the primary detachment from last edition. For Warlord traits there is a whole new tactical table, and there are big changes in every other table, so take a closer look at them. They really look cool now. When Warlord dies, all bonuses applied by him are immediately lost. So if you have some units that are going to be deployed as outflank because of some rule thanks to Warlord, they have to be deployed in normal reserves then. We've got of course new allies table. Now you can embark in Battle Brothers transports. Allies with the Come the Apocalypse type can be deployed in one army now, in a normal battle. If you bought some fortifications, you deploy them with the rest of your army. In most missions, at a roll-off, the player who wins decides who deploys first. Player which deployed first, after the deployment of his and his enemy, chooses who goes first. There is new sudden death rule. If you table your enemy, you are victorious no matter the victory points. With a very few exceptions, everything is scoring nowadays. Even claimed buildings are scoring. If neither player wants Night Fight, there is no need for any kind of roll. But if anyone would like it, then you can make a typical roll 4+ for Night Fight. When there is Night Fight, everyone have got stealth, and there are no range penalties, so you can shoot at the enemy distance. You can have in reserve any number of units you would like, no more 50%. Now special rules. And they shall know no fear no more gives you a 3-inch additional move. Wounds from blasts are allocated to the closest model, even if it is out of sight. Barrage weapons lost killing. When you are attacked by any number of weapons or enemies with blind special rule, you test only once at the end of the phase. When you use counter-attack rules, you no longer have to roll for leadership. We've got rules of course for destroyer weapons, and they are much less killy than in the Apocalypse battles. Feel no pain can save against D weapons. Force is now a blessing psychic power. Hammer of Wrath attacks are resolved against vehicles against the armor value of the side to which the model touches. In this edition we've got it clearly stated that Ignores Cover works not only for wounds but for glancing at penetrating as well. Independent characters without infiltration special rule cannot join infiltrators during deployment. Now you can choose to use or not Jink cover save. If you do, you've got 4+ cover save, but you can only snapshot next turn. Missile Lock now works on one use only weapons. If they're in got no blast, you just have got a reroll. If you got blast, you roll d6 for scatter instead of 2d6. If you want to reroll wounds from poison attacks, now you have to be higher strength than the toughness of the enemy, not higher or equal. As I told, we got new Sentry Defense System rule, which allows claimed vehicles, claimed buildings to shoot enemy without occupants, and it allows to shoot enemy to shoot at it as long as it's claimed by the enemy. To make a smash attack, you no longer halve your attacks, you just receive one single double strafe attack. Sniper weapons lost pinning and rending. They are still on the roll of 6 to 1 armor penetration 2, but they lost any bonuses against vehicles. For them, they are only counted as straight 4. Wounds from Soul Blaze are now randomly allocated. To use Splitfire rule, you no longer have to take a leadership test. Units with Strafing Roll special rule lost pinning. Strike Down rule works now on monstrous creatures as well as other non-vehicle units, and now it is only makes them move as in difficult terrain. If Swarm received wound from Blast or Template, they are still doubled unless they are instant death already. Then they are not doubled. Units that are within a building or in an open top transport vehicle that is struck by template weapon receive d6 hits from this weapon. Vector Strike is now only one hit unless you attack flying monsters, swooping flying monsters creature or zooming flyer. Then it is different attacks, but each are with 2 armor piercing. We've got new Vortex rule. Crack and plasma grenades and melta bombs can now be used against gun emplacements. Defensive grenades don't no more give you stealth, but they can blind enemies. There are no more rules for all fortification in this rulebook. They are now available only thanks to Stronghold Assault. Now, psychic powers. Start from Biomancy. Iron Arm is now +3 strength and toughness and gives you smash. No more eternal. Wound regenerated thanks to Life Leech can be allocated to Psyker or any model in 6 inches. Warp Speed gives +3 initiative and attacks. Endurance gives now Feel No Pain, Relentless and Eternal Warrior, Feel No Pain 4+, and it is Warp Charge 2. Hammer Hedge is now 18 inches, initial target have to pass 2 toughness tests, and it's Warp Charge 2. Prescience is Warp Charge 3. Misfortune is now Warp Charge 2 and gives every model that attacks the Misfortuned unit gets rending. Scryer's Gaze is now Warp Charge 2 and gives you only rerolls for reserve, outflank, mysterious objectives, and you can discard and get new tactical objective. We've got 2 new disciplines of demonology, Sanctic and Malefic. Fiery Form from Pyromancy lost +2 strength, but now you can reroll any further rolled wounding on Pyromancy spells. Fire Shield gives now cover for every kind of attack, and every enemy treats or turns 6 inches from the Psyker as a dangerous terrain. Spontaneous Combustion attack is now strength 6 AP3 and the blasts after it is strength 5 AP4 Ignore Scalpel. Initial attack is Soul Blaze as well. Sunburst range goes to 9, it lost Blind but received Soul Blaze. Inferno is now Warp Charge 2 and Large Blast. Telekinesis lost Gate of Infinity, it is now in Demonology Sanctic power. Objuration Mechanicum, now instead of giving rerolls for 6s to wound, it gives all the unit gets hot. Shockwave is now range 9 but 2d6 hits and a strength 4. In Telekinesis there is new psychic power called Levitation, it just gives you additional 12 inch move. Telekinetic Dome is now Warp Charge 2 and it no longer reflects hits for a single unit but gives 5% vulnerable save for every model in 12 inches from save. Vortex of Doom is now renamed to Psychic Maelstrom and is now Large Blast and Assault 1. Psychic Shriek is range 18. Terrify no longer steals Fearless but gives -1 leadership, makes all enemies fearful, and you have to pass morale at the end of the turn. Telepathy lost Puppet Master, but there is a new power called Shroud. Invisibility has been changed, now all invisible units, models in the unit can be shot only by snapfire and only on 6s hit in close combat. Hallucination changed a lot. On the roll of 1-2 you have to make a pinning test, no more automatically pinning. On the 3-4 the unit guy have got -1 WSBS initiative and attacks, and on the 5-6 randomly selected character in the unit receives one single free hit for every other model in the unit. And this would be it. This was 149 changes between 6th and 7th edition of Warhammer 40,000. If you find anything else, please write in comments. I am sure that I might lost some changes. Hopefully not, but if you find something that I missed, just tell everyone in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and stay safe.